Welcome back to Off the Bandwagon. I'm Miriam Frankel. So as a member of the Gen Z community and as someone on social media, I'm pretty accustomed to seeing celebrities and public figures canceled on a daily basis. Now, once in a while, the reason is genuine, like Daniel Masterson of That 70s Show, who lost support after 2 guilty rape convictions. But majority of the time, I notice individuals getting canceled for irrelevant, foolish, or entirely fabricated reasons. Today's episode will dive into the history of cancel culture and how what could have been a step in the right direction became an unfortunate social contagion. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss a single Off the Bandwagon episode. The term canceling an individual originated in African American culture, where it was used to describe the termination of someone's support for an individual. Later, social media elevated the term to a heightened level. The definition changed from just a lack of support to an active disinvestment and ostracization of an individual or group for a reason deemed immoral or wrong by the accuser. The canceled individual's reported misdoings spread like wildfire, sparking mob mentality among viewers. Harassments, stalkings, and death threats follow, turning an individual's life upside down simply because one person decided that that was the just thing to do. I mean, they have it totally twisted. Nothing about this is justice. It's mass hysteria and demonization wrapped up in a neat little bow. One of my big issues with cancel culture is its finality. Rather than working with an individual to get educated and form an apology or attraction based on new knowledge, it excommunicates and ruins someone's life and livelihood. With its clear lack of due process, cancel culture throws fairness out the window faster than you can say free speech. There's no fair hearing with evidence. It's mainly just one person taking another's claims as hard truth. This drastic reaction to often a slight political incorrectness or different opinion is so disproportionate to what it deserves. Now, if you ever watched an episode of Bull or other legal dramas, you're probably familiar with the phrase innocent until proven guilty. That is how the American justice system attempts to maintain integrity and uphold evidence rather than emotion during the case. Cancel culture does none of that. Rarely do people research if the claims are true or, God forbid, ask the individual for a clarification. Tolerance for opposing views is thrown out the window, free speech is restricted, and yes, of course, hate speech is different, but right now I'm referring to peaceful free speech, and censorship and context removal is celebrated. According to Pew Research, about 17% of Americans believe that cancel culture is a method of holding accountability and promoting education to stop the transgression from happening again. But if this was the case, rather than canceling someone, they'd reach out and ask their intentions, research what occurred, and not ruin someone's life without batting an eye. Now, I'm going to get more into this in a future episode on how celebrities shouldn't be your guide to morality and political understanding. But something I see often with cancel culture is people getting upset over a differing opinion, so they vilify the other to elevate their own. For example, on October 17, 2023, Jewish comedian Amy Schumer lamented over the purposeful slander and defamation of the State of Israel, and how publications had blamed the country for a hospital attack, which was proven to have been fired from Gaza by terrorists. She received, in turn, significant backlash on social media. She was accused of Islamophobia, born privilege, and other hateful remarks. Her response included as follows: I want safety and freedom from Hamas for Palestinians and Israelis. I want safety for Jewish people and Muslims as well. Everyone, just like you, I want peace. The fact that people ignored her call for the safety of both groups and chose to pursue character assassination for their own gain is more than disappointing, but not surprising. I do want to point out the implications of cancel culture when applied to tort law. Tort law refers to when an individual suffers a loss or harm that someone else is liable for, as they committed a tortious act. The victims can then be compensated by pursuing legal action. Now, if in the situation the canceling can be excused as a socially acceptable reason, the suit will not stand. But if it's even possible that the reasoning was faulty, practicing cancel culture might gift you some legal trouble and court time. While I haven't found anyone who has pursued this yet, the option is available, and I would be wary of it as well as the crimes of slander and defamation prior to posting a cancel culture claim. The left's call for an individual's boycott and deplatforming goes beyond the screen and keyboard they so valiantly type from. It leads to harsh consequences for the accused, from career-based losses to safety threats and negative implications on their reputation, isolating individuals from opportunities they very well might deserve. And what's the left's excuse? They felt hurt? It's insane. Another thing about cancel culture, which by the way, we should have a tally of how often I've said today, is how fickle and loosely the accusers stick to their claims. For example, Kim Kardashian and her family have all been canceled for whatever reason multiple times. But then they come out with a shapewear company, makeup, or jeans, and suddenly supporters flock to their pages. Clearly, when someone is canceled, it's not always a publicity death sentence. All you really need to do is capitalize on something the accusers enjoy, and their graces will be won right back. I really do think there's room for reforming how we respond to what doesn't sit right. But excommunication and hostility is not the way to do it. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Off the Bandwagon and left a little more educated than you were before watching. Before you go, please make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell to never miss an Off the Bandwagon episode. For more related content, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, or go to my website, miriamfrankel.com.